The number of professionals diagnosed with depression is on the increase, according to research from medical aid scheme ProfMed. Nkini Phasha, spokesperson for the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, is here to offer some insight into this issue, especially in a month which is Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you very much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Is there necessarily an increase in depression among professionals, or is it simply a case of more people seeking help for it than ever before?
Look, I think it's a bit of both. Certainly as the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, we are going out in full force, to try and really create awareness around, mental illnesses. And of course, depression being one of them. But also, if you look at, the dynamics, in this day and age, so as a professional, there's really a huge amount of expectations. There's a huge amount of pressures. With that comes, stress. And that's what we actually find. And of course, stress that is not attended to can actually, evolve into a much more severe type of, a mental disorder. We know that, anxiety disorders as well can very much, predispose, an individual to a depressive episode.
I'm looking at some of the figures here, and I think this is a worrying one. They talk about a 75% increase in those suffering from severe depressive episodes are now displaying psychotic symptoms. What does it actually mean?
Look, with an untreated, depressive episodes, it can actually lead to other complications. And also what we do know, certainly from research, is that a lot of times mental illnesses coexist. So you have what we call a comorbid condition. For example, you can have a depressive episode that really, comes along or as part of a bipolar disorder. And with bipolar disorder, we know that, psychotic-like symptoms can actually manifest.
Psychotic meaning, does that predispose a person to violent behavior?
Hallucinations and having delusions, so those are the type of symptoms that can actually manifest, because now this person is actually not receiving the proper treatment and the proper management for their condition.
There's so many pressures today that weren't there before, Nkini. So, for example, we've got parenting demands, we've got our workplace demands, we've got financial demands, all of which we're struggling
Societal
to meet.
Pressures,
exactly. So how do we go about adjusting our lifestyles?
Look, it's very, very important that we need to take care of our mental well-being. I think there is a huge amount of stigma that's associated to mental illnesses. So that really, limits people from coming out and seeking help. So really seeking help and speaking to someone. Certainly as the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, we are here to try and offer alternatives and to really give the support to people that is so, needed. If you can imagine a sponge absorbing and taking in water, it can only take so much, and you need to then, eventually squeeze out in order for it to absorb more. So as an individual, you cannot go on through your life taking on all these pressures, all these challenges, and all these, pressures and stresses that life, throws at you. You do need to have a platform where you can actually go and offload and really, walk the path, to ensuring that you can lead a better quality of life. So certainly as a South African Depression and Anxiety Group, we encourage people to come forward, speak to us. We've got trained counselors. We operate from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 365 days a year. So, so that we can then be able to really start offering alternatives and ensuring that people can lead better lives and basically mentally, healthy lives.
Okay, we're going to give your number to our viewers in just a moment, but I want to end with one quick question, because some of the matrics around the country have begun their practicals today, an extremely stressful time for them. Just some very quick advice from you, please, Nkini.
I think it's very, very important. As a matriculant, you need to have a proper plan. You need to really allow yourself to take proper breaks. So, going throughout the night and, throughout the day studying is really not healthy. Your brain can only, take in so much. So really also encouraging that, you do take those breaks, you do exercise, you do eat healthy as well, and really allow enough time, to sleep and to rest so that your body can rejuvenate, and then you are able to actually achieve a lot more, the next day and obviously moving forward. And your brain then is, is able to be more alert, as well.
Nkini, thanks very much for talking to us.
News that moves. eNCA.com.